Hello again, Scorpio. It's September 2019. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au. I always smile because I know that you're part of my clan, and I have to be forgiven for being a little bit partial. Isn't it funny how we're always partial to people of our own star sign? We gravitate towards them. Be careful, because often the same star sign doesn't get on well. Look, I'll start animating this on the tail of this new moon that happened late in August, this 11th house I started telling you about late last month. A lot more openness and mingling with other people, networking and socializing to get your point across, to extend your business and social activities. And this is very, very good. All the planets do very, very well in the 11th house. And we see that as the month commences. One thing, however, your health may have some problems here, shown by Mars moving into this, what we call combustion. Sun has just passed over your ruler. It's going to improve very quickly after the 7th, as the Sun moves away. Not so quickly though, because Mars is still at a pace where it's just behind the Sun there. It'll take a few days yet for it to move out. Now here also, apart from your health, it can have to do with nature of some of your relationships. They can be combative. You may have a friend that's just a lingering thorn in the side. And I remember my teacher once saying that if you've got a thorn in your side, sometimes the best way to remove that thorn is to grab another thorn, remove that thorn, and then throw both away. That sounds very expedient, doesn't it? Maybe there are mutual friends that may be able to help you remove this friend. And that's the point here. If you're with friends simply for the sake of, what are they, drinking partners? I mean, if you really analyse why you're with friends, what's the point of it? If it's just some common activity that you have going, what would that friendship be like if you remove that from the picture? You probably would have nothing at all in common. So I think this month is about attrition. It's about redefining what your friendships are. And that's going to be especially the case as the moon swings around here into your 5th house next to idealistic Neptune and makes its full phase. So full moon here around the 14th, 15th. Notice here the Sun has moved away. So this is good. The full moon in the 5th house is an excellent placement for you, bringing with it not just that desire to be with friends, but a strong creative element there and a real upliftment. Notice the simultaneous transit of Venus and Mercury into your 12th house. So there's travels afoot here in September, maybe even earlier than this, from what I can see. Sometimes the pattern of these planets is preceded by the event. So a good time to travel, and these 12th house and 9th house aspects and positions usually bode well for long distance travel, emigration, settling in other places for a while. This is also a great time for bringing your mind to hidden matters, spiritual matters, and to take a look at redefining your belief system. The moon moves through the 7th house, 18th and 19th. It's going to be going around and around the horoscope, and especially over these slower moving planets, it's going to keep reiterating the meaning of that. Now, as we've said on quite a few occasions now, with Uranus here in your 7th house, you have to be careful that you don't assume your business partner or your lover or your husband or wife is going to mean exactly what they say. This could be saying something and then finding yourself in a position where, hang on, where did that come from? Didn't we agree that we were going to do this or that? Because Uranus has that unstable sort of quality about it. It can be unreliable, and it may not be because the person's being deceitful. It can just simply be circumstantial. The circumstances on their side change, and then all of a sudden they've got to change their plans with you. So you need to have plan B while this planet is in the 7th house. 10th house matters come to the fore there, very nicely so, with Jupiter in your 2nd house around the 24th, 25th. That's a good time to step up your planning financially and to look at how you're going to increase your income, which you've been doing. The ingress of the Sun into Libra accentuates, and you'll notice here that that large cluster of planets that started the month off in your 11th house of friendships has shifted to this lower key spiritual dimension. Mars, your ruler, will stay here in the 11th house, but I think there's an undercurrent here, particularly around the 29th, when the new moon takes place here, right there, in this 12th house. You see how all of that has shifted, Scorpio? It's moved from that 11th house, which is very much to do with socializing, networking, being with other people, being the life of the party, and then to this 12th house stuff, where a lot of your attention, there's an undercurrent here. Doesn't mean you're not going to still be dealing with other people, but I think you're going to start to see beyond the facades that people present to you, and this takes a much more serious turn, not a bad turn. I say this to people, for some reason people don't take others seriously if they're comical about it. You can be serious and comedic about your seriousness. That's why I love comedians like Louis C.K. or George Carlin. They are the most humorous sort of people, but there's an undercurrent of seriousness there. The topic that they're talking about can be serious. So here you can still be mingling and whining and dining and having fun, but underneath that is this current of seriousness. So there's a very strong shift to the spiritual for you at the latter part of September. Look forward to your company next month. Don't forget astrology.com.au. We've got more there for you. Please take a look there. We need your company to bolster our receipts. Otherwise we can't operate. We need your help on that. And more importantly, if you need my help on personal matters, why not drop me a line here and we can organise a personal reading, which is really what the true astrology is all about. See you next month. Take care now, Scorpio. Bye.